Hello, my name is Charles Ardinger, and I'll be working with you as your instructor in the English 100 class that you're about to start. I'm making this brief video presentation to introduce myself to you and to show you some aspects of the class that knowing about will help you as we proceed. So, to begin with, let me introduce myself. Again, my name is Charles Ardinger. Hello. I've been working here at Coastline since 2013 as a tutor and as an English instructor. I specialize in English 100 and also in the question of English grammar. Now, that to me is the most interesting thing about myself. I love English grammar. I love to talk about it. I really enjoy answering questions about it. So, if you have any such question, please don't hesitate to email me, and we can have a conversation about that. That's a little about myself. You'll be learning more about me as we continue, as I will be learning about you. Let's turn now to some aspects of our class that I want to show you so that you can navigate this system more easily and efficiently. So this is the front page for our class, or if you like, the home page for our class. The terms mean pretty much the same thing. I want to show you some aspects of what you'll see as you look at this front page that will help you as we continue in class. And the first thing that I want to show you is here on the right side of the page, or down the middle of the page, you'll see some dates and assignment names. This is a schedule for our class. It means to say that on any particular date, such as October 26th, you'll have a particular assignment due, such as a student introductions discussion. On Sunday, October 27th, you will have these assignments due, and so forth. What this means is that you can tell what you should be doing in class by looking at the class's front page. And I think this will be very useful in pursuing time management, which in my opinion is a highly important skill in these online classes. Now the next thing I want to show you happens here at the top of the page, and it is announcements. I will be making an announcement once or twice a week as we continue. The way to read the announcements goes like this. Go to the top of the page, find the title of the most recent announcement, and click on it. That will lead you to a page that looks like this, where you can read the announcement that you've clicked on. If you like, you can pause this video to read this announcement, or I will just tell you pretty much what it says. Again, I will be making an announcement such as this once or twice a week, and they will concern issues I see in class or issues of grammar, or something I've read or seen that I find interesting, that sort of thing. I will not be quizzing you on the content of these announcements, but I suggest you read them anyway. They can, in my opinion, help you a great deal as we proceed through class. I'll be giving advice that you might find useful. So this is one way in which we can communicate with each other. I will be making these announcements, and ideally, they will help you as we keep going. Another way in which we communicate is through my responses to your assignments. As you can imagine, you'll be doing some writing in this English class, and when you submit writing to me, I will grade it, and I will also respond to it in a few ways. To see about these ways of response, to see about how I respond to your assignments, let's look at the link that says Grades. Clicking this link will lead you to a page that looks like this. And you will notice that this page has a list of the assignments by their title, and they're arranged chronologically, so the earliest assignment comes first, and so on. Now, if we look at this assignment, the assignment from Module 1, you'll see that this student has gotten a grade and has gotten some feedback, both in a rubric and through comments I have made. So let's click on the title of this assignment to see how I responded to it. And we wait a moment, and we get a page that looks like this. Here's what you'll notice. First, you'll see a comment like this. I will write a comment of this kind for every assignment you submit to me. And the comment will consist of advice on future assignments and my response as a reader to what you've written. What I see that works, what I see that doesn't work as well, what I see that you could make more academically appropriate. So this is a good way to keep getting experience as a writer, is not only to do the writing, but also to see how a reader responds to it. And in this case, the reader is me. I will also be grading, because this is a class, your work, and I will be grading based on a rubric. A rubric is a chart listing criteria and point values associated with those criteria for how you get a grade on an assignment. And to see the rubric, you would click this link that says Show Rubric. And there's a rubric. As you'll notice, it asks some questions, gives some answers, and assigns points based on those answers. So in this case, the test student followed the test pattern clearly, and that will make more sense to you as we go on. Use the four-sentence structure outline, as you'll see in Module 1. Did not, however, quite make the length requirement for this assignment, so lost a couple of points. And so this student can see this and think to himself, oh, well, okay, I better make sure I make that length requirement. Advice for future assignments. To make the rubric go away again, we can just press this X. And then we can look at a third way in which I will respond to your assignments. I'll be leaving comments, I'll fill out this rubric, and I will also leave annotations, which you can see by pressing this link that says View Feedback. When you do that, you get a small copy of what you submitted. This will probably look larger on your computer. I have to use a fairly small frame for this video software. So you'll notice that there are two kinds of annotations on this paper. There is this annotation, which I will make as if I'm writing in pen between the lines of your typed submissions. So this kind of annotation will suggest more academic grammar, more academic ways that you could phrase things, that sort of thing. The kind of thing that any instructor would write on your paper in an English class. There will also be highlighted annotations. You can see the highlight here, and this leads to a text box here. And these highlighted annotations will consist of comments that need more space for me to make. So if I have something to say about a sentence that I don't quite understand, I'll probably put that in a highlighted annotation. So to see these annotations, remember that you'll want to press the View Feedback link. So again, you can get responses to your submissions by looking at my comments, by looking at the rubric, and by looking at the View Feedback link. And that's an important way for us to communicate. But these online classes need, I think, a little bit more than that. And so I've instituted a way for us to communicate more easily and more personally, either at your convenience or during my student visiting time, which we might think of also as my office hours. I have what you might consider a Zoom office. It's, my webcam pointed at me in my living room, much as you're experiencing here. And I will be in that Zoom office on Thursdays between 1830 and 2000 hours, or, if you're not in the military, 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Pacific time. Now you can get to that by clicking this link, and that will take you to the Zoom meeting where I will be, and we can chat about issues that you see in class, or about questions that you have, or about things going on in your life, if you like. It's very informal, It's non-mandatory, and, as you'll see if you look at your syllabus, can lead to extra credit points for you. So I will look forward to seeing you in my Zoom office on Thursdays between 6:30 and 8 p.m. And finally, I want to point out another optional measure that I've taken in class to deal with the idea of grammar. Most students don't necessarily want or need a grammar lecture, so I'm not going to impose one on everyone. But if you have a specific grammar issue that you want to deal with, you might find a refresher module that helps you with that. So far, I've added a module about commas and about sentence variety and about ing words and verb forms and other kinds of sentence forms. Those might be of use to you. You can also, if you like, suggest other modules that might also be useful, and I can accommodate you as much as possible. Ideally, these automated modules will help you look at ways to remind yourself of these usage issues and give yourself little quizzes to see how you stack up to academic expectations. So, the schedule, the refresher modules, the student visiting time, and the announcements are what I wanted to talk to you about in this brief introduction. And now I've done so. And so I would like to finish by thanking you. First, I'd like to thank you for enrolling in the class. There would be no class, really, without you. Without a student, there's no need for a class, and therefore I would like to thank you sincerely for helping me keep my job. I'd also like to encourage you to ask me as many questions as you possibly can. I know you have my email address, and you can also get in touch with me through Canvas, through the inbox function there. You'll see. I will respond to any emails I get within 24 to 48 hours, and since I don't know when I'm not making sense, I'll be counting on you to help me clarify anything that needs clarification. So I very much appreciate your help with that. And finally, I'd like to thank you for your time and attention.